Thank you. Thank you very much, Claire. Look, have I 8 minutes? Is it 8? No?
Yes, 8 minutes.
8. Yeah, thank you. At the outset, I want to welcome Minister Coveney to the House, and it is worthy of note that you turn up in person to address these issues on a consistent basis. And I think you're actually recognising the seriousness of them in doing that, but you're also very consistent in being here addressing them, and I think that should be acknowledged and welcomed. I just want, apart from acknowledging my colleagues on the Select Committee on Brexit, and what a pleasure was to work with them and how seriously everyone took it, I think all colleagues would agree that special ward is due to our chair of the Brexit Committee, Senator Chambers, in that I think she gave the committee great leadership and motivation and was in there at all times, keeping it going and giving it the necessary gravitas and push at all times. And I think that was important. I should say as a general remark that when Brexit used to be discussed way back a few years ago and at the outset, there was a sense of Armageddon, particularly around the region I come from. There was a fear that we were going to have a hard border. There was a fear that the Good Friday Agreement would be in peril. There was a fear of a return to violence in the country. There was a fear of tariffs and customs east-west. And it was a very bleak scenario. And it is a great tribute to government, to this minister, to our diplomatic services, and to all of us in our own roles. When we went abroad, we all did our piece and worked on a one-to-one and worked bilaterally with as much as we could. But it was a particular achievement of government and the diplomatic service that we got to the point we're in. And I think while we now are fixated with the protocol, we should recognise what has been achieved. And it's just quite enormous that we have succeeded in having the common trade agreement, removing tariffs and customs with the EU and the UK, that we have succeeded in putting the protocol in place, which allows for smooth east-west trade and allows Northern Ireland goods into the UK smoothly and without any tariffs or interruptions. And that's very significant, a very, very significant achievement. The protocol is central to preserving the Good Friday Agreement, to preserving the livelihoods of people right across Northern Ireland. Often we talk about the protocol and we talk about it in a kind of an abstract, and it's as a theoretical construct almost, and something almost legalistic. But there is a reality here. It would have resulted in huge unemployment around the border areas right into this country. It would have been a tremendous blow to agriculture and paralysed the whole agricultural food processing sector right along the border had we not had the protocol in place. And of course, for that reason, the implementation of the protocol, the successful implementation of it, is necessary. And while it is an international and legally binding agreement and treaty, our government's ambition, and it's certainly my view, and I think the view of most members of the Select Committee, of all members of the Select Committee and of this House, is that we should be conciliatory, that we should be negotiating, and that a consensus should emerge. And I think in Commissioner Šefčovič's proposals before Christmas some months ago, right across a number of areas, including veterinary, and right across 80% of the difficulties, Commissioner Šefčovič's proposals are a real effort to reach consensus. And we do, and the Minister has alluded to it, notice a more positive environment in recent months and recent weeks. And we hope that Ms Truss, the Foreign Secretary in the UK now, and Mr Šefčovič will reach agreement, and it is good that the technical talks are continuing apace. So we have, as I said, both the Trade and Cooperation Agreement and we have the protocol. So it is important as it prevents checks on goods between Northern Ireland and the Republic and allows free trade across, and it unencumbered access to the UK. And of course ensures the integrity of the single market. It's worthy of notice that the business community and civic society in Northern Ireland are ahead of their political leadership on this issue, to the degree that they recognise the opportunity that this presents for Northern Ireland to prosper. And it has actually created a new dynamic on the island of Ireland, if you like, because of the great increase in trade north-south, and indeed from the south to the north, an increase there too, but notably north-south as well. So that trade increase is important, and it's something that we should really be very, very welcoming of. I think it's obviously important that we complete achieving, and Minister, you might comment in your summary later on how we're doing with the mutual recognition of professional qualifications. I believe that it's achieved over a number, but not completely. I'm glad to hear your remarks about the Healthcare Directive. I think that's been one of the great successes, and I know, as all of us do from our own constituency work and from dealing with people in our area, that's been taken up and used a lot, and it works very smoothly. It's important that it go on and continue, and indeed a constant point made by the chair of our committee during the committee's deliberations was that it could even receive further modification to make it more access and to get over some where it can be a financial difficulty for some people in accessing the money to pay initially and whatever, and there maybe work through the credit unions could be done there or whatever to get over that initial. Some people have difficulty coming up with the money, but yet there has to be a mechanism to ensure that there's no fraud around the use of the money, but that could be looked at hopefully. I think that's important. It's also important that in the context of continuing cooperation on the island, that we achieve educational cooperation between third level institutions north and south, and I think that's very, very, very important. I suppose in summary at the end, I look forward to the Minister's remarks on some of those issues, but in summary at the end, one can say that Brexit is retrograde and that the EU has been the greatest peace process, that this has been a tremendously successful peace process at a European level. It's been it's brought tremendous benefits not only to this country but right across Europe, and particularly to vulnerable areas and less well-off areas. And it's created great opportunity. The EU, it's a great project, and it's such a tragedy that we have lost Britain for the moment from it. And they were great allies of ours within the Council of Ministers, within the and all of the bodies there, and it's a pity to lose that too. But we have to work from where we are, and certainly I hope, and just say in conclusion, I hope that over coming weeks we will see a solution on agreements around the protocol, and that, as the Minister said, it will well precede the elections in Northern Ireland. Thank you, Chair.